Arman was a bright, energetic 16-year-old boy who believed he could do anything. He was quick, confident, and always had a smile that could melt away even the harshest scolding. His teachers liked him, his friends admired him, and his parents trusted him. Life seemed perfect, until the day he learned a lesson that would stay with him forever. Arman studied in Class 10 at Crescent Public School. The school was strict about rules, especially about discipline and honesty. Arman had always stayed on the safe side, but recently he had grown careless. He believed he could get away with anything. After all, he was Arman, the clever one. One Monday morning, the school announced a major science project competition. The winners would get certificates, prizes, and a chance to represent the school at a national level. Arman's heart lit up. He wanted fame. He wanted applause. He wanted to be the center of attention. But when the teacher handed out the project guidelines, his excitement faded. The project was long, difficult, and required several days of work. "Who has so much time?" Arman muttered under his breath. "I'll do something smart, something quick." At home, instead of researching or planning, he opened his laptop and typed, "Ready-made science project models for sale." Within minutes, he found a perfect project, beautifully built, perfectly labeled, and impossible for any judge to ignore. It cost money, but Arman didn't care. He convinced himself it wasn't a big deal. "I'm not cheating," he told himself. "I'm just saving time." That night, he ordered the project, feeling proud of his shortcut. He didn't think twice. The day of trouble. On the day of the presentation, Arman entered the classroom carrying the model like a trophy. Teachers admired it. Students whispered praises. Arman felt like a king. "Excellent work, Arman," his science teacher said. "You've improved a lot. I'm impressed." Arman forced a shy smile, pretending to be humble. Inside, he was celebrating. But fate had its own plans. During the final judging round, the panel of teachers gathered around Arman's table. The head of the panel, Mrs. Siddiqui, examined the project closely. She narrowed her eyes, tapping her chin. "This looks very familiar," she murmured. Arman's heart skipped a beat. Mrs. Siddiqui pulled out her phone, searched something quickly, and turned the screen toward the other judges. They all exchanged looks. Arman felt sweat gathering on his forehead. "Arman?" Mrs. Siddiqui said calmly. "Did you make this yourself?" Arman's throat dried up. His hands trembled. He wanted to run, but he nodded. "Yes, ma'am. I made it." A silence fell over the room. Mrs. Siddiqui exhaled deeply and said, "This project is copied from a website. Exactly. Every detail, even the labels." Students gasped. A few whispered, "Arman copied the project?" Arman felt the world crashing around him. He tried to speak, but nothing came out. "Arman," the teacher said sternly, "you have broken school rules. You have lied, and worst of all, you have tried to earn success without effort. This is unacceptable." Arman lowered his head. His shortcut had turned into a disaster. The next day, the school called his parents. They were heartbroken but remained calm. "Why didn't you just ask for help?" his father asked softly. Arman couldn't answer. The school suspended Arman for 3 days. It felt like the worst punishment of his life. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He couldn't face his friends. For the first time, he felt the weight of his actions. His pride, his ego, his impatience, they had all betrayed him. During the suspension days, he sat alone in his room, staring at the unfinished science project he had ignored earlier. He realized he could have completed it with a bit of effort. It wasn't impossible. He just didn't want to try. He whispered to himself, "I should have thought before acting." Those words repeated in his mind over and over. On the third day of suspension, he finally gathered courage. He picked up the project materials, opened his books, and began working, properly this time. It took hours. He made mistakes. He corrected them. He learned. And in doing so, he began rebuilding something far more important than a school project. He began rebuilding his character. The return. When Arman returned to school, he was nervous. He expected his classmates to tease him, but surprisingly, many of them cheered him up. "It happens, man. Don't worry. You'll do better next time." Their kindness gave him strength. At the end of the day, Arman went to his science teacher's office with the project he had finally completed himself. He placed it on her desk. "Ma'am," he said quietly, "this time I made it myself." The teacher looked at him for a moment and smiled gently. "Arman, mistakes are part of growing up, but what matters is that you learn from them. I am proud of you for correcting your wrong." A wave of relief washed over him. He wasn't the same careless boy anymore. He understood responsibility now. He understood honesty, and he understood the power of thinking before acting. Moral of the story: think before you act. One wrong decision taken in haste can lead to regret, punishment, and loss of trust. But careful thinking and honest effort always lead to success, respect, and peace.